I had always assumed a routine procedure would stay. Just that, routine, a brief surgery, a short conversation with a doctor, and life would continue as usual. I never imagined that a few casual words, whispered in the sterile quiet of a hospital room, would linger in my mind long after the anesthetic faded. The morning began unremarkably. I arrived at the clinic, checked in, and settled into the waiting room, scrolling through my phone to distract myself. The nurse called my name, and the harsh overhead lights made the room feel impersonal, cold. I nodded to my surgeon, trying to steady my nerves. Needles always unnerved me, and the vulnerability of it all was unsettling. He explained each step of the procedure with precise, clinical detail. I fixed my eyes on the ceiling tiles, the machines above me, anything to make the time pass. Then I heard it, a soft, almost conspiratorial whisper from the surgeon to the nurse. Get his wife this. Don't let him see it. The words, meant for someone else, cut sharper than any scalpel. I froze mid-breath, mind racing. What did he mean? A note? Test results? Something else entirely? The sterile walls suddenly felt suffocating, the hum of fluorescent lights a distant roar. I wanted to demand clarity, but part of me hesitated. Maybe it wasn't my place. Maybe some truths were meant to stay hidden. Even as the procedure began, the words echoed in my mind. The surgeon's casual tone, the nurse's quiet compliance. It all suggested routine normalcy. And yet, deep down, I sensed a shift. That day, what was meant to be simple quietly became a turning point, a moment I replayed again and again in my mind. Afterward, I walked out of the clinic, trying to act as if nothing had pierced the calm I carried daily. The sun was bright, almost mocking in its cheerfulness, but it couldn't lift the weight of that whispered phrase. Get his wife this. Don't let him see it. It looped in my mind like a stubborn echo. I forced myself to focus on the mundane, driving home, stopping at the store, ticking off errands, but it lingered. What could be so urgent, so important, that my surgeon would whisper about it and keep it from me, only to give it to someone else? By the time I reached my driveway, a strange tension had settled over me. The house was quiet. My wife hadn't returned from work. I lingered in the car, hands gripping the wheel, heart racing slightly faster than normal. Should I ask her? Should I wait? Rationally, I told myself there must be a simple explanation, a pamphlet, a form, some routine instruction. Yet instinct whispered otherwise. Something unspoken, a truth wrapped in secrecy, hung in the air. When she arrived, cheerful as always, I tried to maintain normalcy. Our conversation was polite, light, but beneath every word lay the weight of unasked questions. Every glance, every pause felt amplified. I couldn't shake the sense that she knew something I didn't, something whispered to another while I was vulnerable on that table. The thought alone tightened my chest. That evening, I sat at the kitchen table, staring at a small envelope that had arrived with the mail. The handwriting was unfamiliar, but unmistakably hers. My hands hovered over it for what felt like minutes, each second stretching endlessly. I knew, without opening it, that this was what the surgeon had whispered about, the thing I wasn't meant to see until it reached her hands. My mind raced, test results, instructions, something else entirely. The anticipation pressed down on me, sharp and relentless. Finally, I opened it. Inside was a simple note, written in careful, almost clinical handwriting. It wasn't exactly what I had feared, but it was enough to make my stomach tighten. A reminder of responsibility, a request for transparency, guidance meant for her. Yet beneath it all lay the unspoken message. I had been left in the dark. Choices were being made about me without my knowledge. I read it twice, each line sharpening the strange mix of anger, disbelief, and helplessness growing in my chest. I set the note down, leaned back, and exhaled slowly. There was no explosive anger, no desperate need for answers, just clarity, perspective. Some things are beyond immediate control. Some truths reveal themselves in time, not in whispered moments behind closed doors. The words had landed unexpectedly, but my reaction was mind control. That night, as the house grew quiet and the lights dimmed, one thought remained. Knowledge carries power, but restraint defines character. I would not let secrecy dictate my response. I would not let a whispered sentence unravel the life I had built. Calm, deliberate, unshaken, I had witnessed a moment, absorbed its impact, and chosen to move forward on my own terms.